Good morning and welcome to the Ndalama Insights radio show on ZMBC Radio 4. Welcome today. Okay, it's good to have you this morning. I don't know. Today's one of those days. I try to exercise and
Eh,
apparently looks like it's not working. So
why?
I don't know. I did 2 days of walking from Woodlands, Nyumbayang up to ZMBC. Um, it felt okay. It was very beautiful and liberating.
And
But it's like 2 days later, I think everything is now reacting. Like the body is just saying, "Look, you overdid it," and
no, the body is adjusting to the new routine that you've developed. So continue. After a few days, after a few months, you're going to be feeling extremely brilliant. Talking about exercising, I was actually exercising last. I do that. It's a daily routine. I love the Mandai Bridge. I go there. I do the stairs. I run around. I get to arcades. I love it. I'm used to it
something
now.
you get used to. Huh? Anyway, we're talking investments. This is also something that should become a habit in everybody's life. I think the idea of always putting away some money for something, always investing in something, and looking for that point when you have some passive income coming in. Today, we're joined by Mukonki Mukonkela, as per usual. It is a good morning, Mukonki, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leslie. Officially, we are starting, right?
Definitely. All right. Now, today we have an exciting topic we're looking into to our listeners who are new to the world of investing, and that is unit trusts. I've heard it can be a great option for those who want to grow their money and preserve its purchasing power. Can you tell us more about unit trusts and why they could be a viable option for newbie investors?
Absolutely, Leslie. And good morning, dear listeners. Thanks for joining us this morning and those on YouTube as well. So, talking about unit trusts are a great investment for beginners. Those of us that are just learning about investing money, starting with unit trust is a brilliant idea because unit trusts offer us what we call diverse investment portfolios. And this is because when you invest in a unit trust, you are actually buying a share of a portfolio that is managed by a fund manager, whom we are going to be talking about very shortly. And this fund manager normally has a portfolio of investments that comprises of probably bonds, maybe shares, or property. So they will have this portfolio of investments, and you as an individual will be buying a unit in this portfolio investment. And it's normally referred to as a collective investment scheme as well, meaning that a lot of people contribute um, amounts of money towards this portfolio, and then you buy the units depending on how much money you've invested in this unit trust. So you will be buying a share of this investment portfolio. So it's a brilliant way for beginners to get started with investing because it's less risky.
Okay, now that sounds promising. But
Mm.
how exactly can one invest in unit trusts, especially in the context of Zambian unit trusts?
So when you're starting to invest, it's very important. Like I always say, you need to start with your financial goals because your financial goals determine what kind of investments you need to make. So by now, if you've been following this program since we started in mid June or is it July, you know that you needed to start with a financial plan. What are your goals? What you want to achieve in the next 5 or number of years? Once you've established your goals, you then need to start looking out for unit trust fund managers that have got portfolios that match your goals, your investment goals. So, for example, if one of your goals is to retire maybe with 5 million Zambian kwacha, and you want to have regular income in the next 5 years, you could consider finding a fund manager who's got a portfolio of investments that give you regular income, maybe through bonds that give you regular coupon interest incomes, and they have that investment. They've also maybe invested in shares where you get regular payments through dividends. So you need to really understand your financial goals and then seek out fund managers that have built portfolios that resemble what you're trying to achieve. So that is how you go about, establishing which unit trust to start investing in.
All right, this is the Ndalama Insights radio show, and today we are looking at exploring unit trust investments. So, if you have any queries on that one, today is a good show to definitely listen in. You can follow the show as well on YouTube. Just simply search for Mukonki Mukonkela. That is Mukonki Mukonkela. It will come up as you search, and of course, do follow her, and you get all the tips and all these tips you're hearing on the show right here. You can then get to listen to them as well in your own time. So definitely do follow her on YouTube. That is Mukonki Mukonkela. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. You are still listening to the Ndalama Insights Business Show, brought to you by Insight Partners Africa. Leave your comment or question on Mukonkela's YouTube channel. The Ndalama Insights, turning your challenges into actionable insights. And welcome back to the Ndalama Insights Show. Today we're looking at exploring unit trust investments. And of course, in the studio with me is Mukonki Mukonkela, our financial expert. Mukonki, could you shed some light on the key players involved when investing in unit trusts?
So when you are investing in unit trust, you need to be aware of the four key players. These are very important. The first one is obviously you, the one that is wanting to invest in the unit trusts. And then we have a fund manager. Okay, this fund manager is the one that has created a portfolio in which you can buy the units. And then we have a trustee who's responsible, given the legal obligation to ensure that the fund manager separates their assets from the trustee. And then we have the custodian who also ensures that the underlying securities under this portfolio, this fund, are properly secured. So these are important key players when it comes to investing in unit trusts. Therefore, it's yourself, it's the fund manager, it's the trustee, and the custodian. So you need to be aware of these as you are starting out on this investment journey.
And it is crucial to know who's handling our investments. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of that, how is investing in unit trusts regulated?
So very important as well, because when you are investing, you need to understand that you don't just go to anyone. You don't just find anyone on the street that says I'm an investment advisor. And maybe I should actually take this opportunity to say I am not a registered investment advisor. This is I do this program specifically for educational purposes. However, if you are looking for investment advisors or fund managers, they need to be regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. And when you go to the SEC website, you will find a full list of licensed investment advisors as well as brokers. And I will talk about stockbrokers very soon. So you need to ensure that they are licensed. I am not a licensed, but I'm actually working towards that because I've got a few inquiries, Leslie, from individuals that would want me to help them on this path of investing. So it's something that I'm working towards. At the moment, I don't have a license to help you. However, you need to be aware that don't just pick anyone on the road. If that person that is advising you in terms of investments or in helping you to invest must be regulated by the SEC. It's to protect your investment. Okay.
Great to know that there's oversight to protect investors. Now, when it comes to the investment amount, is there a minimum or a maximum limit for investing in unit trusts?
Yes, they actually are minimum amounts to start investing in unit trusts. From the research that I've done, some fund managers require maybe 1,000 kwacha, and others also might require a lump sum investment, meaning that you go with some huge amount that they require you to start with, or they might require you to do regular monthly installment payments towards buying these unit trusts. So when you are making a decision as to which fund manager to work with, these are some things you need to consider. Will they allow you to make regular investments into this unit trust, which might be uh, good for you in terms of your cash flow, or do they require a lump sum amount? So it all depends. Fund managers are different. As I've said, you find a full list of fund managers on the SEC website. Call them, find out what they want in terms of how much you can invest and whether they are minimum or maximum amounts. Yeah.
And what about the costs that are associated with investing in unit trusts?
This is very important, Leslie. I mean, many of us want to think that we can just pick up the phone, call somebody. Hi, Mukonki. I'm looking for advice. How do I buy a share on the loose? These investment advisors and brokers have got fees that you really need to understand even before you commit yourself, before you sign to a partnership with a broker or an investment advisor. You need to understand the fee structure, and mainly they've got administrative fees that they charge. They've also got regulatory fees for them to comply with the SEC. There are certain fees that they need to pay, so they will take into consideration the regulatory fees. They've also got management fees that they charge. So these costs are normally deducted from this net value of the fund portfolio and shared among the investors, which is why unit trusts are normally referred to as a collective investment scheme. So you are sharing both the returns and the cost. But it's very important for you to find out what is the cost, how much will I be paying you for you to be my fund manager, for you to be my investment advisor. You see, so it's administrative fees, the regulatory fees, and then their management fees. I can't give you specifics. Go to the list of registered advisors on the SEC, give them a call, give call three more. I mean, get three, like three quotations, find out and see how they differ.
So
Yeah.
that basically means showing a bit of interest. Now, this is
Yes.
the part that will get you the interest. How do you make money from unit trusts?
This is a very good question and something that's important to understand. So when you start investing in unit trust, how do you make the money? And I like to say that when you're thinking about investing in unit trust, first of all, think about this fund. What's the portfolio? What the portfolio I'm investing in, what is it comprised of? What kind of investments is it comprised of? Is it shares? Is it bonds? Is it property? Because that then will determine how you make your money. If let's say it's shares, it means that the money you make from shares is dividends. You are paid regular, maybe annual dividends when the company is profitable and has declared a dividend. So that is how you make your income. It's dividends. And then through dividends as well, there's maybe capital appreciation. Maybe the share price has gone up. This results in an appreciation of the capital. That's also a plus in terms of your revenue. So there are like two kinds of income with shares, dividends and appreciation of your investment in the shares. So the kind of return you get depends on what kind of investment is in the portfolio. All right. So if it's property, obviously we expect you to get rental income. I don't know how frequently, so you need to find that out. So like I said, match your goals with the portfolio. Ask the investment manager. It's not just about their unit trust. Let's go and invest in the unit trust. What is the portfolio comprised of? That's the important question to ask. Yeah,
Now, I know it sounds very simple
yeah.
for you people in the financial world when you talk about portfolios. What is a portfolio? I mean, I keep hearing the portfolio, portfolio, portfolio.
Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. And sorry for that jargon. So portfolio is simply a collection of different investments. And we call it diverse because we want the portfolio to not just have investments of a similar kind. So that is why it's called a portfolio. So you might have a bit of shares, a bit of the government bonds, a bit of property, a bit of unit other shares, other investments. That collection is what we call a portfolio. And we say it's diverse because it's not just one kind. You're not just investing in shares, but you are investing in property, in bonds, in other investments. And that is why it's a diverse investment portfolio.
Ah, okay. So that sounds like a win-win situation, definitely.
Yes.
Now, how can someone sell their investment in a unit trust if, say, they want to get their cash back?
Nice. I like this. I mean, when you make investments, it's always important to know the exit strategy as well. Will I be able to sell these unit trusts? And yes, you can. In fact, unit trusts are one liquid investment portfolio that we have. So you can go back to your fund manager and inform them of your decision to redeem these units. So when you are selling your units in the investment, in the unit trust rather, we call it redeeming your units. So approach your fund manager and they will help you to sell your units back to the fund at the existing market price. Um, but you also need to be aware or consider the possibility of capital loss if the asset value has decreased. So that's something to be aware of. So in short, yes, you can sell your unit, go back to your fund manager. They will find a way to sell back your or redeem your units.
Right. Well,
Mm.
Konke, we've covered a lot today, and I'm sure our listeners will gain valuable insights into investing in unit trusts. Just remember, investing always comes with risks and rewards, so do your research and consult with your financial experts before making any decisions. Mukonki, as always, thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you so much. And those on YouTube, I can't see your messages at the moment. I'll try to respond to them later. And if you are listening, subscribe to my channel, Mukonki Mukonkela. You'll find a lot more information and actual practical ways of how you can start investing in Zambia. Thank you so much for listening.
All right, that's right. Thank you very much for coming through. And remember, this is the joy of having Konki on YouTube, and you being Zambian, you can actually go and check it out. There are a lot of channels on YouTube that deal with financial issues, but now you've got Konki who's dealing with financial issues from a Zambian perspective. So do check it out. Search for Konki Mukonkela on YouTube and get all your answers sorted. Good morning. You have been listening to Ndalama Insights Business Show, brought to you by Insight Partners Africa.